Hey guys, James here with Waterford Business Solutions, and today I wanted to close out our discussion of observations of trades and their businesses for 2024. This week I wanted to talk a little bit about what we're seeing across the line on materials and the cost of materials and everything there. We're predominantly going to focus a lot more on the plumbing, electrical, and HVAC businesses rather than kind of the cleaning businesses, landscaping businesses, and other trades there, just because we haven't seen as much of a swing on materials and everything in those businesses this year as we have with others. With the plumbing, HVAC, and electrical, we are still seeing price increases. Not nearly as bad as what we saw during 2021 and 22, but we're still seeing continued price increases and still finding businesses that are coming to us losing money because they're underselling on their materials. That's not super surprising, that always happens, and that's why we want to make sure every single month we're reviewing the sales that you've done along with making sure that the materials you're purchasing are in a strong, solid metric with those sales. A lot of guys that we have want to be somewhere in the range of about 20 to 30% on those materials. We say that at max we want to see you around 33%, and a lot of times we can see a solid 20+% net profitability company there as long as you're under 33%. But we've seen a lot of issues with people underpricing or getting a little heavy there. And so we've had to make sure that we put in stopgaps to make sure that inventory is being taken care of, materials are being used, and even getting reimbursements for warranty items and warranty parts paid out are all taken care of to help keep that level low. I think the biggest trend that we've seen with materials isn't as much the increase, though, as we're seeing with people being a little bit more tight in the purse and wanting to watch their wallet a little bit more, are opting to go with cheaper and cheaper solutions. So a lot of our clients value themselves and put themselves at a premium level, and thus they sell more premium equipment. Trane, Lennox, Carrier, even Goodman, Daikin, things like that. But they're having a lot of issues just due to where the price of materials are at and where their pricing has to be at, that they are being undercut by competition who is selling jobs for hundreds, if not thousands of dollars less, even though they're saying that they're putting in the same equipment or at least the same type of equipment. And what we're seeing a lot of times there as we've dug into it is that the same type of equipment means the same SEER rating or the same BTU rating on a piece of equipment, but it's not the same manufacturer, it's not the same level of equipment. So a lot of our guys that we work with, we've been highly encouraging this year, as much as they may not like it, but to make sure they're not losing sales and everything, even during busy season, because we're seeing it across the board even in busy season, is to make sure that we're not just selling a good, better, best option like we've always suggested in the past, but also bring in a more entry-level option or base option for those that are super, super price conscious. It's always best to have that good, better, best option when selling because it allows you to figure out what the price capacity or price appetite for a client is. But if your good option is still hundreds of thousands of dollars more than what your competition's selling because they're selling a inferior piece of equipment, you either need to make sure that you are selling why you stand behind your work and the equipment that you sell, or you need to make sure that you are selling a piece of equipment that you're comfortable selling at a price that can compete with your competition selling those inferior pieces of equipment. I think that's the biggest trend that we're seeing is a lot more levels in our good, better, best options than what we've had in the past because we're trying to make sure that that price sensitive, price conscious customer is taken care of and not worried about anything there. It's going to be a big factor that we want to make sure is looked at and understood. As far as where we're going for the rest of the year, I think HVAC is going to be in for the biggest issue that we're going to see. With the upcoming changes coming to us with the change in refrigerants and what is and isn't allowed, a lot of units are going to get vastly more expensive because of the refrigerant needs and the refrigerant costs there. This is going to cause a massive increase to a new install or a replacement of an HVAC unit. So it definitely wouldn't hurt if you're in HVAC to go ahead and reach out to clients that may need a replacement fairly soon and attempt to encourage them to go ahead and replace now. Maybe give yourself a little bit of boost in income this year if they've got the funds available there, so that you can go ahead and move on to getting them the best price you can with the units that are currently available. We're seeing that across the board. We're seeing manufacturers already coming out with a new pricing of the equipment, and that pricing is definitely a substantial tick up from what we've seen in the past. I would highly encourage clients to understand that and spend some time, especially in HVAC, of where your pricing is. But any client at all, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, even into the cleaning industries, make sure that when you're in the kind of shoulder season here, when it's not too cold, not too hot, that you take some time to look at your supplier pricing, take a look at your supplier offerings, and make sure that you understand exactly what that is, and talk with them about any upcoming increases that they're thinking that they're going to see there, that they're thinking are going to come through. That's going to be really important to make sure that you're staying ahead of the curve and ahead of pricing. Overall, with materials, it's always going to go up. We're always going to see materials increase. It's rare that a manufacturer is ever going to increase costs and then bring it back down once supply catches back up to demand. Once they know that people are willing to pay that money, they're going to keep that there and make that their new baseline for increasing so that they continue the best profits that they can have. So we're always going to see that. What's vital for clients is to make sure that you at the same time are tracking those metrics, tracking that material margin there on a regular basis, and have solid books to be able to understand and make quick changes whenever it may be needed there to keep your business ahead of that curve so that you're not losing more money than necessary. That's going to be a big one there. As always, guys, please feel free if you've got questions or need help or feel like you don't understand that material metric. That's why we're here, and that's why I started Waterford Business in the first place, is to go ahead and make sure that clients just like you in the trades are able to understand what their material metrics are, what their labor metrics are, and grow their business off of solid understanding of their financials and not just worry about financials for a tax purpose. Feel free to go ahead and reach out to us by either calling us at 864-351-0852 or giving us a call, or shooting us an email at info@waterfordbusiness.com. Also, if you don't mind going ahead and liking and sharing this video with anyone you think can benefit from it, and go ahead and give us a follow here to get more content just like this to help you become more confident in your business. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of your day.